let's look at the profile of this client, or not client, this person is still a prospect. So, we work together nung student pa tong tao na to. And she is still 23 years old, single ang status niya, and she is a social media expert. Now, ang special case siguro na kailangan ko dagdag, this person is a male transgender. So, ngayon, bakit siya importante? It's because if we will be talking about insurances, merong ibang treatment pagdating sa male transgenderism. Genderism. So, I'm not sure kung ano yung proper term, pero yung mismong gender identification niya will be different sa kung ano yung papasok sa application. So, yun yung reason ko ba't ko lang siya diniscuss dito. But nevertheless, no problem with your gender identity. Now, the service request is just to give an insight with the current position niya pagdating sa pera. So, this person is a newly graduate, tapos working naman na siya, and meron na siya mga extra opportunities when he was still in college, pero now official na siya na working. So, part na siya ng work natin. Not work natin, but work ng Filipino working community. So, this prospect ay bago lang sa field. Tapos, he doesn't think well too much about budgeting and all, yung structuring. So, parang more on introduction to para sa kanyang adulthood in money management. So, maganda tong yung case na to, it's because this person is atypical na nakatira pa sa magulang, so mababa pa yung kanyang living expenses but has the ability to earn. So, ibig sabihin, mas may freedom and flexibility siya pagdating sa pera niya. So, tinanong ko yung financial health niya. Ang savings naman niya is good, kayang mabuhay 3 months or more sa mga na-save na niya. So, that's good. Bata pa lang, meron na 23 years old, di ba? Now, for the budget, wala siyang budget at all. Basta, binabayaran yung kailangang bayaran, hindi naman siya maluho. Tapos, marami pang natitira. So, nadadagdagan yung kanyang savings. Now, income niya stable. Tapos may sudden dagdag pa yan pag may extra project siya kasi social media siya, di ba? Tsaka mga marketing, mga ganon. Tapos, expenses niya, estimation lang. Meron siyang rough estimate buwan-buwan kung magkano yung lumalabas. Pero namimit naman niya yun eh. So, he just wing it. Tapos, wala naman siyang utang. Pero wala pa siyang kahit anong insurances, wala pa siyang kahit anong investment. So, she feels secure kasi yung emergency hindi naman niya kailangan sagutin, but if ever man, meron naman siya. Okay, wala siyang problema sa living expenses niya and wants niya. So, ganun ka-flexible ang perspective ng tao na hindi masyadong mataas yung expenses pero gets to earn na their own income. So, ang itsura ng budgeting niya is ganito. Yung needs, 15% lang nang kinikita niya buwan-buwan ang ginagastos para sa needs. Okay, pwedeng yung amount ay nilalagay niya siguro sa debts and obligations, siguro contribution sa bahay. Pero yung mga kailangan niya lang, pamasahe and all, mga pang-load, internet, lahat yan, 15% lang nung kinikita niya. Luho niya, 10%, he is already satisfied with that. Kaya the rest, naiipon niya, 50%. So, ang assessment ko talaga sa mga ganitong tao is good ang financial position. Nandun siya sa powerful stage kung saan may pera siya, pero ito yung right age para simulan ng money discipline. Because if nasanay ka na may money discipline, the moment na maliit pa lang yung pera mo at may minamanage ka, habang tumataas yan ng tumataas, mas madali nang i-adjust yung budgeting na gagamitin mo. So, maganda yung position niya. Now, yung additional income opportunities niya, mapapakinabangan pa niya yan. So, this is facing adulthood. Ganito yung start talaga. Now, ang need ng current or urgent attention niya is yung lack ng budgeting system. Kahit hindi niya nagagastos lahat yung pera niya, kailangan, kahit confident siya na hindi naman nauubos yung pera ko, kailangan mag-work ka pa rin towards having your own budget. Okay, again, ang aim niya is for you to get that discipline na nagbabudget ng pera. Because not forever naman na supported ka ng parents or not all the time is sobrang taas ng savings mo. Because tataas ng expenses mo as you grow older. Now, we'll check yung sufficiency ng emergency fund. You must have an idea kung magkano dapat yon. And last but not the least, kailangan yung health and retirement fund mo, ini-start mo na siya. Nilalagyan mo na siya ng budget. Okay, kasi mas mura lahat ng mga to sa age mo ngayon. So, here's my financial advice. First, you have to have the knowledge of emergency fund na it should sustain you for at least 3 months of living expenses. Lucky you, kasi ikaw ay nakakuha ng trabaho anytime. I know your background, so kahit online makakuha ka ng pwedeng source of income. Kaya hindi threat sa'yo, hindi mo nakikitang threat na ikaw ay mawawalan ng income. Pero I suggest you to have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 times, assuming 3 to 6 months kang walang trabaho, not because walang papasok sa'yo, but pwedeng kung ano yung kunyari, hindi maganda yung pakiramdam mo. Tapos, yung sources of inspiration, wala ka. Pwedeng ganon kung medyo emotional ka na tao. Ngayon, pagka kunyari physically, you cannot do the job. Like for example, namamaga yung kamay mo or hindi ka masyado makakita. So, very important yon. Alam ko sa job mo, tsaka sa extra job mo. So, mga ganong emergency. Tapos, pwede ring nagkaroon ng second pandemic. We don't want that to happen, pero something in the likes na yung services na ino-offer mo is not in demand for a very long period. So, kailangan meron ka talaga emergency fund for that. And then, hindi dapat sila nasa iisang parang account lang ng pera. There should be a separate funding up na nangyayari sa emergency fund. So, yan yung isa sa mga project mong lagyan ng budget. Like, for example, sa 100% mo, 50% nga technically napupunta sa freedom fund mo eh. Hatiin mo na yung freedom fund mo na yan. Mag-establish ka na ng emergency fund. 10% would do. 20%, 5%, it's up to you. Pero meron ng isang may purpose. Now, yung budgeting mo, I suggest na, kasi ang current budgeting mo ganito eh. Needs 15%, wants 10%, 25% napupunta pa sa, pagpalagay natin needs, kailangan mo rin yan na bayaran. So, 40, 10, 50 yung freedom fund. So, ngayon, ang operations mo dito ay technically 50%. Wala kang security account, nasa growth account to. So, paano ko hahatiin yan? Suggestion ko is 55% gawin mong operations account. Needs, wants, and obligation. Ang current mo 50% lang. Gagawin natin 55%. Okay? Bakit gagawin ng 55%? Para meron kang wiggle way ng konti pagdating sa wants mo. I don't want you to feel restricted, pero 55% is a good amount para alam mong buhay ka. Tapos ma-finance mo yung mga gusto mo. Now, 15% dun sa Freedom Fund. Bali 15 gawin mong growth account. You start building up money na. It's up to you kung gusto mo mag-invest sa cryptocurrencies, sa G-Invest, or something just for you to experience ang investing. Now, if you don't want to put your mind sa mga ganung bagay, doon ka sa mas secure, mas stable. You could open MP2 or a retirement plan. Ilagay mo dyan yung 15%. Now, if gusto mo ng mas may balik sa'yo, try mong mag-invest sa sarili. Like for example, adding up skills, something like that. So 15% ialat mo dyan. Basta ang point is, yung pera na pumapasok dahil sa 15% na yun, something that will grow or will help you grow. And then 30% ilagay mo sa security. I want you to have a strong emergency fund. So kailangan maglagay ka ng percentage for that, and I want you to build na your health fund. So this is my suggestion to you because all of your income is an active income, meaning kailangan ng service mo para kumita ka. So, ibig sabihin, ang biggest threat sa'yo is pag hindi naging capable yung sarili mo. And usually, sickness naman yun. And pag nagka-sickness ka pa, kung hindi ka na nga maka-work, may gastos pa yon. So, a good hospitalization with critical illness will do para no matter what happens, na kahit anong sakit, mako-cover ka na. So, kung okay ka doon, hatiin mo yung 30%, i-build up yung emergency fund para lumakas pa, magkaroon ka ng critical illness. Tapos yung funding up of retirement, kunin mo lang doon sa 15%. Ngayon, kung yung 15% na yun, tingin mo masyadong mahina or parang malaki, remember, meron ka pang extra income. Okay? Ang suggestion ko bali dito is, yung 15%, pwedeng pang-puta mo na ng retirement, tapos yung 30% sa security, so emergency fund and health. Tapos, kung meron kang extra income sa mga side hustles mo, invest mo sa sarili mo. Okay? So, ang importansya ng paglalagay ng purpose sa pera natin or sa budgeting is for you not to have so much free fund to the point na pag merong biglang opportunity pumasok sa'yo, go ka na kagad na too risky pala for you. Okay, you are in the best position to start budgeting kasi may pera ka. So this is high time sa'yo to para i-build na yung budgeting Kasi kung sakali mang lumaki yung pera mo, may system ka na. So don't waste this kind of opportunity. Okay, if you have further questions, of course, you're still not my client, so just contact me. Clarification dito, sasagutin ko yan, whether you'll be getting insurance from me or not, though one of my suggestions to get insurance, of course, I'll be pitching in kung ano yung kaya kong i-offer, but if you want to consider other, it's fine as well. And for those of you who wanted free financial advice, I'm going to post my email address, contact me, and I could give you advice for free. Okay, I hope this helps and this could improve kung paano mo i-handle yung pera. Welcome to adulthood and I am rooting for you. Have a nice day.